Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a review on the brand new palette from Huda Beauty. It's called the Empowered palette. Picked this up because I figured I just did a review on the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. They look fairly similar. People have been asking for comparison swatches. So I'm going to show you that in this video as well to see if this is a palette you need to pick up if you already have the Natasha Denona. I also picked up the new GLOWISH by Huda Beauty Blur Jam. So I'm going to throw that on my face as well after I reviewed this palette for you. Figured some people might want to know about that primer. I haven't used this though. This just came in the mail. Let's open her up. The outside packaging is a QR code. I believe she has some sort of giveaway going on if you scan this. Opening this up, it's absolutely stunning. I can see how it has similarities between the My Dream collections. I'm curious to swatch them side by side to see how similar they are. I will throw up swatches for you just to determine whether this is worth it for you based on the similarities. There are a bunch of different types of textures and finishes in the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. We have one gloss hybrid metallic, which I've never seen before. It's like a river of a balm through an eyeshadow. Very, very curious to try that. We have two hybrid eyeshadow gel creams, two shimmery metallics, two wet metallics, two soft shine metallic pearls, and 9 velvety soft mattes. I feel like with a couple of shades there could be more variation. I feel like we could have kept the shade Charisma, did away with Limitless, had only one of the gel liners in here. A couple of the matte shades over here I feel like could have been more variation in those as well. So I would have liked to have seen this expanded somewhat and some of the shades taken back. This retails for $88 Canadian. I love to collect the Huda Beauty palettes. Very excited to play around with this on the eyes. Definitely going to use that Charisma shade as it's speaking to me, and I'm going to try one of those gel liners to line my eyes. So that's kind of the thought process for this, but we're going to play around and see how it goes. I'm going to zoom you guys in now so we can get onto the eye look. Starting with the shade Rebel in my crease, I'm using a BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A503 brush. Lids are already prepped and set. I'm just going to go into the crease with this. Using this as my transition shade. I pinched my skin with my tweezers today, so if you see a little dot and some issue right here with blending, that's because I just did that. So it's not the shadow on my skin, it's just because I pinched my skin. Love that color, easy to blend out. I go in fairly light-handed at first. That blended out really nicely. That's a color I would use on the daily in my crease. Slowly building up the color to get the desired intensity. Going on just as I would expect. I love the matte formula of Huda Beauty. You know what? Someone actually asked me to do a cranberry gold look for Thanksgiving. I thought that would be a really good idea. This video is going up on Sunday, celebrating Thanksgiving in Canada. So you know what? I'm gonna do that. So thank you for the idea. Just looking at this came to me now. I thought perfect colors for that. I'm gonna spray my brush with some Fix Plus. I'm gonna go in with the shade Courageous. Put that on the outer corner of my eye. Looks blue now to me. What color is this? It looked red in the pan and now I'm unsure. Thank you, color blindness, for ruining this. It looks better there. Doesn't look like that on my eye. So we're gonna go in with my finger and apply that. Okay, that's looking better. Just taking a smaller fluffy brush, and this is a A502 from Angie Hot and Flashy. Gonna go back in with Rebel to blend that out in the crease. Very strange color. It's shifting in a way that I don't expect, especially when it's blended out. Blending out really easily though. Usually I work from inner to outer corner. Don't know why I'm not doing that today, but here we are. Taking the shade Charisma, I'm just going to go over the inner corner of my eye. This one I've been so excited to place on my eye. Oh yeah, this shade alone is what drew me to the palette. It is flaky, some fallout, but that's to be expected. Super, super cool. This is like a gold flake. So it is messier. It's getting up on my eyelid, in my inner corners. We're just gonna clean that up. This is a shade I definitely consider using a glitter glue next time just because of the flake quality to it. I can see it definitely transferring and the fallout that you see. We'll see if it goes throughout the day. Hopefully it is put. I'm gonna warm it up slightly with Legacy, just in the outer corner. Just wanted it a little bit more red. Legacy makes a pretty cool color mixed with Courageous. I'm liking how that's looking. And this eye needs a little bit more of the gold to balance. Taking a small angle brush, I'm using a BK Beauty 208. You know what? I'm gonna go in with Worthy and try and use that as a gel liner. This looks fairly moist in the palette, so I feel like it needs to be topped with shadow to set. Just if it still has that same sort of moisture in the pan. It's very movable. I'm not a big fan of gels myself. I don't know how often I'll use those, potentially use it as a base to intensify. I just don't feel like it feels set on my eye. So I'm going in with the shade Confident and just setting that gel in place. Just going back in and cleaning up any spots I feel like need a little bit more pigment. Just connecting it to that liner and making sure the crease is blended. I'm going to pop off camera now, throw on some lashes. I'm going to clean up all this fallout from the Charisma shade, and then I'll come back and show you what the new Glowish Blur Jam looks like on the skin. I'm back, lashes are on. Tried to clean up most of the glitter. I have some in my eyebrow somehow, so I recommend definitely a glitter glue with this. Sometimes it's hard to tell because some brands have some sort of primer and solution in those glitters that adhere themselves. This one definitely is one that doesn't do it for me. I have a lot of fallout and it's kind of transferring into my crease and on my eyebrow. And let me know if you're anything like me, because I always use my cheap eyelashes for glitter looks because I know I can just toss them, because I like to reuse my lashes, but with glitter it's like almost impossible to remove. So that's what I have on. I'll link them below. And now I'm going in with the new Glowish by Huda Beauty Blur Jam. I did use this once already and I really, really liked it. I used it with the new Hourglass foundation, and this is a pore blurring and texture blurring primer. You can use it all over your face. It's also hydrating, which usually doesn't happen for pore products. If you have dehydrated skin with pore or texture issue, right here, this I was really impressed with. I'm going to try it out with a foundation that has more of a glow so that I can kind of see my pores a little bit more. But the consistency of this, it looks like jam when you open it up. Like, how am I going to put this red product on my face? Strawberry jam, but it goes on clear. And there's no silicone in this, which is fantastic for those of us who have sensitivity to silicone. And it feels hydrating when you put it on your skin. Has the most incredible texture, and it is blurring, hydrating and blurring. Steph told me she really liked this, so I knew I had to pick it up. If it's available during the Sephora sale, I know it just went out of stock in Canada when I last checked. This is one that you want to add to cart. Even before, if it's going out of stock, it's definitely worth the purchase. Primer is on, it feels smooth and cooling. My skin is red because I touched it, not because of the primer, it's just how my skin is. Now I'm just going to finish off my face. I'm using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk because I want to see how it looks like on my pores, a more luminous foundation. I will come back and finish off my under eye with you guys and talk more about the palette, but I'm just going to quickly do everything else, have it all linked down below, and come back and share with you guys my final thoughts. I'm back. This is the completed look. I really like how it turned out. I was going to come back and finish off the lower lash line, but I kind of liked how top heavy it was, and just threw on a little bit of mascara. So I'll link everything down below that I did use, but I want you to see this complexion. How poreless does my skin look? It looks really good. I think even more than the palette, I recommend this. But I do like the palette as well. I don't think you necessarily need it though if you have the Natasha Denona. There are a lot of similarities. Yes, I feel like the color I put on my lid is a showstopper. It does have some transfer, so just so you know, might want to use a glitter glue or some sort of adhesive before applying it. Fix Plus just wouldn't cut it for me. It has to be something tacky and made for glittery products like this because it is quite flaky. The mattes, what I come to expect. The gels are a little bit sheer and not as dark as I would want. I feel like they would more so make for a base to amplify any sort of look. In terms of using them as an eyeliner, I would much sooner grab for one of the mattes, like Confident, and go on right away to use that as an eyeliner just because they are quite sheer and took a little bit to build up. Haven't tested out the Manifest It shade yet, but that's super cool and unique to this palette. The variety in this makes it unique, and if you're a Huda Beauty fan, then you'll definitely get your money's worth by buying this. is just for those who may have purchased the Natasha Denona, because I did. I don't think you necessarily need this. Quality is there. You can create some really cool looks using it. The different sort of finishes will definitely be fun to play around with, and this just happens to be one look I happen to create with it, but you can create a multitude of looks, and as I said, use those eyeliners as a base. This primer may not have been on your radar, but it should be now. I am obsessed with it. Steph got me hyped for this, and I can see why. It just works for porous, textured skin, and I never knew it was hydrating. That's what I found from this primer, is how cooling and hydrating it is upon first application on the skin, and definitely provides a smooth matte base for your foundation to go on top of. So I do have luminous silk on. It does look more perfected on my skin. I didn't even set my face yet, and I feel like it doesn't look powdery or cakey or anything like that, even without any sort of setting spray to melt everything in. It just looks like really nice skin. That gold is the thing that sells the palette for me though. It's so pretty. I wish it wouldn't have transferred up to my brow, but you know what? You live and you learn, and next time I will definitely put some sort of adhesive down prior to going in. But other than the eyebrow situation, which was just initial application and could just have came off on my finger, there's no fallout on my face. So it is setting on the lid. So you might not necessarily need a adhesive for that. It's my personal preference with glitter, so I will be doing that next time, but overall, it's not falling down on my face. You don't see any glitter anywhere. That's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, for spending some time with me today. Hope this video helps you out decide whether you want to invest in the new Huda Beauty palette, or if you are going to skip, if you already have the Natasha Denona. Hopefully this helped you save some money or helped you find a new favorite palette. I hope this helped you out in some regards. So thank you guys again for watching. If you have not subscribed already, I would absolutely love for you to subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button, the bell if you want to be notified of all my future videos, and I will see you guys in my next one.